Hi, my name is Adam Greenfader, and I had the opportunity recently to do a site visit to St. Maarten. The island of St. Maarten has been growing significantly ever since the end of the COVID pandemic. As you drive across the island, you see projects all over the place, from residential to commercial to the first five-star luxury hospitality project, Villa Ven. I had the opportunity to sit down with Arun, who is one of the leading brokers and currently is selling a very unique project called Ocean Residences, located on the Dutch side of St. Maarten.
My name is Arun Jagtiani. I'm the founder, owner of Island Real Estate Team.
Thank you for taking the time to have a quick conversation. I know we had the opportunity to do an amazing site visit in St. Maarten last week, and it was really special for me to be able to walk the island, see a bunch of construction sites. I was incredibly impressed, and I've been talking a lot about how St. Maarten seems to be changing. It's in the 70s and 80s there was a lot of timeshare state, but now it looks like St. Maarten is moving much more into the kind of the luxury space. Obviously, it's got St. Bart's and Anguilla that are its immediate neighbors. I mean, kind of what's your take on the luxury aspect of St. Maarten these days?
I'm glad you've made that observation as well. Definitely, I feel like this is the sector that's kind of growing within the Caribbean as well, I would say, right? So the luxury segment has definitely, probably since the pandemic, really started to gain traction within the region. And I think St. Maarten now is positioned to become the next big player in this segment. Caribbean. I think a big addition to us, to our economy is the new airport that we've just opened, right? So it's completely redone, officially opened at the start of 2025. And it's all state of the art. It's going to, the facilities, the equipment inside there, the time to process check-ins, and also when you arrive, it's facial recognition. Everything is moving very efficiently and quickly. The lines are moving so fast. And this is also going to allow us to increase airlift to the destination. So I think these are going to play, major roles in the growth of our tourism economy. It's also, again, helping us to attract and cater to the luxury segment better than we have in previous years. So that's very exciting. But one of the reasons St. Maarten has always kind of thrived or kind of been appealing for so many demographics, I think, is the dining scene. We're like the gourmet capital of the Caribbean with the French and Dutch influence. And then, of course, logistically being right next to Anguilla and St. Bart's, which have really become standouts, I think, in the luxury segment in the Caribbean. Logistically, to get to those islands, it's much easier to fly through St. Maarten. So I think we're starting to reach the point now where people are realizing they can have a fantastic experience here in St. Maarten. There's not necessarily that need to hop over to have that luxury experience. You can get a lot of those things here. And of course, we are half Dutch, half French, but you're in the Caribbean as well. So it's, a European and Caribbean vibe really kind of mixed in together. So the beaches, the dining scene, we sometimes refer to it as a small island with big city vibes, so to speak. And St. Bart's and Anguilla become great complements and, possible day trips from St. Maarten.
But when they come in their yachts and their multi-million-dollar yachts, St. Maarten seems to be the parking spot for that. And as you had mentioned earlier, Ocean's Residences is literally adjacent to one of the largest marinas in St. Maarten.
For me, yes, it's definitely going to become the new benchmark for luxury coastal living in St. Maarten. It's going to be spread over 8 levels, a total of 54 luxury residences, and very spacious floor plans. But of course, for me, what I'm most excited about is the location of this. So on one side of the property, it's the main channel going into Simpson Bay Lagoon, which is the largest natural water lagoon in the Caribbean. It also has some of the best mega yachting facilities in the entire Caribbean. So especially like in the winter months, you see all these billionaires going by on these multi-million-dollar yachts going right past the Ocean Residence, which is pretty exciting. And then on the other side of the building, it's a 2.2-mile stretch of beach, the longest beach on Dutch St. Maarten. So views from everywhere. You're on a peninsula surrounded by the Caribbean Sea. And just one more thing about the location, it's located about a 2-minute walk from the Simpson Bay Strip, which has become a very popular area over the last decade in St. Maarten, probably the most active area in terms of social gatherings and stuff like that. So you've got bars, restaurants, lounges, all types of different boat excursions and stuff like that you can do from here. So the location is incredible. and what they're building is a true architectural masterpiece. So
yeah, it's wonderful when you can have that combination of yachting, beach, retail, and restaurants all within walking distance. It's very few places in the Caribbean that have that
as a destination.
Yeah, and when we walked Oceans, I was extremely impressed with the quality of the construction, amazing cement work, reinforced cement, and and then there was an entire pier that was built right on the water. So I mean, Oceans is this project that looks like a yacht. I mean, you're on the water and you've got this pier there. I mean, talk to us about some of that engineering.
You know, actually, there's certain spots of it where you feel like you're on a yacht, right? Like because you're surrounded by water on three sides. So it feels like you're in the back of a private yacht. But yeah, you know, salute to the developers, the Joya Group. They've been building in St. Maarten for over 30 years. And their experience shows, you know, as you walk the construction site, I think you made the comment a few times like, wow, these guys know what they're doing. And some other nice standout features is the main pool, which is going to be a 22-meter glass edge infinity pool hovering above the Caribbean Sea. Absolutely amazing. Sorry, the building is designed by the Joya Group. They have everything in-house. It's a family-run business. So the architect, Ms. Lorena Joya, has spent countless hours putting this masterpiece together. It's been, I'd say, close to 10 years in the planning, right? They've done other projects in the meantime, but they knew this location was just so iconic, and you only get one opportunity, this kind of location.
Yeah, there's a lot of projects that have a name, but it really has nothing to do with reality. And I think Ocean Residence really lives true and has integrity when it comes to that. You are under construction. When are you expecting completion?
Coming together, the project is fully funded by Windward Island Bank here in St. Maarten. They've been a great partner to the business community here in St. Maarten for the past, you know, four decades. We're expecting completion of the entire project at the end of 2026. The goal is to have the structure completed by the end of 2025.
Great, and I also understand that you have, you know, you started sales and you've had a really good demand for the community, and there are still some homes available.
The sales have been excellent. We've been receiving a lot of interest from the very beginning. What I love is the payment terms, right? So a lot of the pre-construction in St. Maarten, you know, it's stage payments as the project progresses. But in this case, 15% upfront, balance on completion. So we've made it, you know, it's very safe, secure for investors to get in at the early stages. Thank you, Adam. Always a pleasure, and looking forward to maybe doing a follow-up conversation as we get closer to completion.
Great.
Appreciate it. Thank you.